This scene takes place in 1969 when Tony is 19 years old. She's been hanging around with a butch femme crowd in a lesbian bar for about a year, but she's still fairly innocent. Through an odd set of circumstances, she just met a girl called Robin, who doesn't fit into any of the classifications Tony's encountered so far. Snow flutters down from the heavens when they emerge onto St. Catherine Street. Fat flakes like a zillion white moths, a steady, dreamy rain of white. A few cars sail by with a hiss of tires on roadside slush. The sky between the drifting flakes is pearly gray and luminous. "Oh," Robin cries. She flings her arms wide and tips her face heavenward. Wow! Her long black coat flaps as she gambols about. She grabs Tony's arm. "Let's walk! Let's walk!" Down St. Catherine Street they scamper, past darkened shops, lampposts haloed with glitter, Saturday night stragglers rushing home. Snow settles on Tony's hatless head, creeps down the back of her neck. She shivers, but she isn't cold. At Eatons department store, Robin stops to mock the mannequins. She contorts her limbs, hip thrust this way, elbows that, fingers splayed. She pirouettes, toppling backwards against the window glass, and Tony doubles up with laughter. In that moment, Tony sees how appreciative laughter energizes Robin's antics, how Robin's spirit blossoms like a plant in the sun, and Tony feels the delicious power of being sun-like in her attentions. They meander into side streets. Where are they heading? Nowhere, it seems. Wherever their feet will take them, for as long as this mood of abandonment lasts. Nothing matters to Tony but this white magic all around and this bold, frolicking imp at her side. Robin's unabashed chatter, now pure clownery, now interesting revelations, is a key that turns locks. Tony finds herself talking, too, about adolescent longing and high school misery, stories of pain and loneliness that shared become badges of honor. Yeah, that was me all right. It was hell. How wonderful to have a hell to describe to another who understands and nods and grins and interrupts so charmingly. "Jewish camp, no kidding, you're Jewish?" Robin says. "So where are your horns?" "Don't tell me you don't have horns. I'll be very disappointed. According to the nuns, I've been hankering for the devil all my life. I am a failed Catholic, thanks be to Christ. Came out at boarding school, the Sacred Heart Convent on Côte Neige. Yeah, the building on the hill that looks like Dracula's castle. I was 16. Me and my roommate, Mona, cuddled under the covers at night, dying with lust and fear because Sister Agatha patrolled the halls in running shoes and held on to her rosary beads so you couldn't hear her coming. Mona finally cracked. Guilt ate her up, made me join her in self-imposed penance, cold showers, kneeling on bare floors, fasts. We'd make love, and then she'd wake me in the night for Hail Mary marathons. Looney Tunes, but I couldn't let her go. Thought I'd have to throw myself out the 4th story window. Finally, Mother Superior realized something was up and sent Mona home. Exhaustion, they said. I begged my parents to take me out too, which they did, thank the goddess. Best thing for me, going back to a normal school with normal delinquents. What about you? Did you see that counselor again? Did you and her finally get it on? Well, sort of. It was in Israel, Tony falters. Out of sight, and? A long story. I'll tell you another time. Ah, the pain of first loves, Robin says. On and on they drift through a night as dazzling as the Milky Way. Presently, they're on Sherbrooke Street, heading for the massive stone gates of the university. Robin falls silent, lost in thought, though she walks with purpose. Tony doesn't ask where they're going, but a hunch grows and her heart beats fast. Beyond the snowbound campus, they arrive at a neighborhood called the Ghetto. Long outdoor staircases with graceful wrought iron banisters stretch from the street to the upper floors. At the bottom of one of these, Robin stops. "Here's where I live." Tony can't speak. All through their long walk, she's been chanting an inner prayer. "Take me home with you. Take me home." Now, as they stand at the foot of the snowy stairs that lead to Robin's door, Tony grasps the icy banister to keep from sinking to her knees. "Your feet must be freezing," Robin smiles and begins to climb the stairs. "Mine are. Coming up?" Tony clings to the banister. "But you're shaking like a leaf. What's the matter? Why don't you come?" Robin descends a few steps and peers at Tony's face. "You look like you've seen a ghost. Say something." "Oh no, now I've got it." Robin strikes her forehead. "You're a virgin." "Course you are. Why didn't I realize? All that butch femme bravado and the way you were blushing at the restaurant. I thought it was shyness, but shit, you're not even out." "I'd like to come up," Tony manages to mumble. Not a good idea. I'm not feeling motherly right now. Virgins are famous for falling in love with whoever brings them out. Instant enchantment, like in Midsummer Night's Dream. Snap, and you're in love with whoever flicked your switch. It gets too personal and complicated, see? All I want is a fling, an easy fuck, not to have to feel responsible. Oh shit, don't look at me like that. Why weren't you up front? I'm not a virgin. Tony feels herself blush to the roots of her hair. Your nose is growing. Men don't count. If you've been fucked by a man, it doesn't count. I won't fall in love, I promise. Tony grabs Robin's sleeve. You must think I'm full of myself, Robin says, gently pulling herself free and taking a step backward. I've just seen a lot of intensity lately, and I don't believe in love anymore. It's a trap. Makes people possessive, slaves. Just this once? I'll go home right after. Tony tries to think of a promise to convince Robin that the need ripping through her body isn't dangerous. Other nights, when she stood on the doorstep of someone willing, she was the one to turn away, though overwhelmed by her desires. Yet it was nothing to what she feels now. Terrified, incandescent, filled with a hot white light. Sure in her bones that only good can come of this. Unable to say it out loud. Oh, look at you. You make me feel like a bitch. All right then, Goofy, come on up. Does she just feel obliged, Tony wonders, as one would feel obliged to take in a stray cat? But the hand that reaches out and grasps Tony's is sure and firm, and transmits a more heated invitation than words alone could do. Tony's heart hammers harder. Robin in the lead, they ascend the long, snowy staircase toward a red wooden door at the top. Inside, they creep down the hall so as not to wake Robin's roommates, and arrive at a tiny bedroom whose narrow space is almost entirely filled with a wide, low bed. Robin lights candles one after another until the room is ablaze, then pulls Tony down. They swim into the deep, warm sea of a kiss. What do you like? Robin whispers when they are naked. Tell me. I don't know, Tony confesses, amazed to hear herself say, tell the truth. It's my first time like this. She shuts her eyes and waits for Robin's reaction, the I knew it accusations about Tony's virginity. Everything could be over before it has begun. Right, your first time. Robin sighs, producing a long, warm, tickling breeze that sets everything inside Tony aquiver. Well then, we better go slow. The first time is really important. Thank you.